Hello and welcome to this video on precious metals. This video is about my solo exhibition at Photofusion Gallery in Brixton. This exhibition is the culmination of work that has been taking place over the past year, and in the video we'll be looking at some of the work that I made during this time. This project was supported by Arts Council England and also my Patreon subscribers. As part of the exhibition, I ran a workshop in Cathenol and people came to the darkrooms at Photofusion and were able to use the darkrooms to develop their films. There's also going to be a seminar on the 29th of July, which I really recommend checking out. We'll be hearing from astronomers who've detected silver in stars. We'll be hearing from researchers who've looked into the issues around mining. And also we've been looking at artists who are using silver in creative ways. I'm really pleased to have had this exhibition at Photofusion. It's somewhere I've worked for a long time and it's really exciting to be part of their community. So without further ado, we'll head on to the other part of the video and then we'll learn more about what I've been doing over the past couple of weeks. So in this section of the video, I'm looking at how to make silver atoms from fixative go onto a copper piece of metal. This is done by setting up a circuit and allowing a negative and positive charge to pass through the fixative, and this is something that I learned from the Sustainable Darkroom in the book This Is Not a Solution. So I left for 25 to 30 minutes, and since I've worked with Leah Nani Alcancel at the University of Birmingham to make really safe experiments that have been able to be done in a lab. So this is the experiment working, and you'll be able to see an example in the exhibition later. So this is me doing it again. So there's a charge going through the graphite stick and a charge being passed on to the piece of copper, and basically what happens is also hydrogen sulfide gas is released, meaning that it's not extremely safe to do in the outside. If you want to learn more about this, I recommend checking out my video. So this is one of the pieces of copper that has been coated with silver from Fix, and this is something that I repeated over the past year or so in lots of different occasions. In this part of the video, I worked with Laura, or Goddessa Jewellery, to work with lots of different bits of metal in her studio. She's a jewellery designer and she does lots of astronomy inspired jewellery, so inspired by Dr. Camilla Hansen's work about silver in stars, we decided to make some copper shapes in her studio that are inspired by constellations, and then these pieces of copper were put into fixative and the silver was transferred onto the copper pieces, and you can see more examples of this later. After going to Laura's studio, or Goddessa's studio, I set up the experiment again using the This Is Not a Solution book and put the jewellery into fixative so that the silver could be transferred. And this worked quite well, and was one of the basis for doing more experiments at Leah Nani Alcancel's lab at the University of Birmingham. And you can see that this is transferred. However, when I was doing this, the silver would come off with the touch of a finger and it wasn't a very strong plating. So with Leah Nani Alcancel, we've managed to get the silver to stick on really well, like a very strong electroplating. And you can read more about this in the exhibition and also in the latest Sustainable Darkroom book, which is called Resource, and I'll link to that below. And this uses or shows both mine and Leah's recipes that we use to plate those pieces of copper that you might see in the exhibition. In this section of the video, I'm showing you the daguerreotype process. So this is when I went to Brenton West Studio and I was able to shine up some silver plates, or copper plates that have been silver plated, And then I was able to expose those pieces of silver to a bit of iodine crystals. And then I was doing this again using a fuming cabinet, and was doing this in a really safe way because iodine gas can be a little bit dangerous. And then I exposed the iodine sensitized plates to a daylight or a grow bulb for 7 seconds, and then left them to develop out or expose in strong sunlight under rubylith for about 1 hour. And then after this, we put them into fixer or sodium thiosulfate with boiling water and watched the image appear. So these are the kind of daguerreotypes that you can actually see in the exhibition. And here we are just cleaning them or drying them with air pressure, which reduces the water drying stains. So cut to 1 year later, and this is the installation of the exhibition that I did with Richard from PhotoFusion. So this is everything going up on the walls. We first put up the photographs that I made with Dr. Leah Nanny Alkinsell under the microscopes at the University of Birmingham, and then we started to put up the framed works, and then I also started to lay out the pieces of copper that have been plated with silver, and you can also see some pieces of brass that were also coated with silver from fixative. And these are pieces of jewellery, so some of the work that I created with Gedessa jewellery and meteorite that has been encased in recycled silver, and also some of the rings that I made in a silversmithing course. So yeah, I'm really pleased with how these turned out, and it got me really excited about metalwork and using things like blowtorches and hammers and things like that. And then this is a view of everything going up a bit more. So this is the work all framed, a bit of a wobbly camera work there. And these are coffee and green tea toned cyanotypes. And that's the entrance that you'd be able to come in through. And this is just an image to show what the daguerreotypes look like framed. They're quite hard to see, and you can only see them from a particular perspective, which is why there's not many photographs of them in the exhibition. So to end, we're just going to look at some of the photographs from the installation. So these images were taken by Shannon Osborne, and you can see the daguerreotypes and the palladium prints, as well as some silver nitrate photographs. And then these are some silver nitrate and ascorbic acid photographs, as well as some cathinol prints and green tea cyanotypes. So I'm really pleased with how this exhibition turned out. I think it looks absolutely beautiful, and I'd love to show this work again. I think it is really exciting to work on this project, and I'm really pleased to have had this opportunity. It really makes a difference to have quite a bit of funding from the Arts Council, and also to have support from Patreon subscribers. The private view was also really great. It was great to meet people who were coming to see the work, and who also use kind of sustainable photographic processes. There's also a section where you can see a bit of my research, which is called The Pod, where you can see some of my videos and also some of the research that I've been doing. And then these are the last bits of photographs that are showing some of the jewellery. Thank you very much for watching, and if you enjoyed, please like and subscribe, and think about joining my Patreon. Patreon subscribers get a postcard and a digital download every month, so it's really worth doing. Thanks for watching, and please check out the exhibition if you can get there before the 30th of July. Cheers!